This video is property NBKP International LLC. In this video I'm going to show you our three different manual heavy-duty paper cutters and the differences between them. We'll start with this one first. This is the original stack paper cutter. I got them all labeled here, but this one here is the Perfect G12 Pro paper cutter. This is the Perfect G17 Pro paper cutter. And let me show you some of the differences in this. With the stack, you're going to get a crank handle, which raises this paper clamp here. It just takes a little longer. It works just as good as the others. It just takes a little longer to do. All of them are going to come with this floating side paper support where you can adjust it and put on anything you want. All of them are going to have this grid on it in inches. Okay, and on this one here, this will come with the stack S12 paper cutter. It's just basically, I'll show you later, but the handle to change the blade. It also should come with some extra screws, and it's just extra screws that hold the blade in place if you ever need them in the future. Okay, on this one here, this is our Perfect G12 Pro. The difference here is it's going to come with these drawers and these extra tools in it. This thing's for changing the blade. This thing's for adjusting the angle of the blade. This is a cover to cover the blade while you're changing the cut pad to keep from cutting yourself. Comes with a screwdriver and some extra screws for the blade, and it also comes with an extra cut pad. Okay, and that's the Perfect G12 Pro. The Perfect G17 Pro is identical to the Perfect G12 Pro, with the exception it's just bigger. It's just a larger unit. It's got a 17-inch cut, while the Perfect G12 Pro has a 12-inch cut. Okay. And again, they all have the same gauge here. And the other difference is these here will have the easy clamp, paper clamp, instead of the crank like the stack S12. Okay. You also have these shields here, which is the safety shield that they're easily removed. Over here is another safety shield. It's got the same thing. And this here, it depends on where we're selling them, but some of them come with the safety shield and some of them don't. If yours don't, you can always purchase the safety shield separately. It depends on the price it's selling for and stuff, but they do have safety shields for them if you want to purchase it if yours doesn't come with it. Okay, and we'll start here. I'll give you a sample cut on this larger unit. And I just got about an inch thick stack of paper here. I already got it preset to 7 inches. So we'll just come in this way with it. You put it, make sure it's just in nice and square. You'll square against this and against the back paper support. And when that's set there, you can just pull down here on the paper clamp. Give it a couple good pushes. Here's your lock. When you push this all the way out, it will lock into place. You have to release it here to lower the blade. It will automatically lock into place. So you got to release it again. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut. You can come on around here and I'll show you the cut on this thing. It's sticking out here, right here. I'm just going to cut off about an inch on it. As you can see, there's a real clean cut on it. I'll take out the other side. Very easy to do. Doesn't take much pressure at all to push down on. But it gets a very smooth, clean cut all the way down. And it's about an inch stack of paper. It's just standard paper. I also want to show you, let's go ahead and do this. This is the phone book here. It is pretty much the max thickness of this, it looks like. It just barely fits in here. This all the way up. All this in there, and we'll just cut off a little bit of this phone book. It's an old phone book, so it doesn't really matter. Goes pretty easy. Let's put the other end over here. It's a really smooth cut on these things. Now the cut on this is going to be the same on the G12 Pro, but again it's only got a 12-inch cut length, while this one has a 17-inch cut length. And it would cut this just the same. I'll do a quick sample on that. You got to unlock the lever here, just like the other one. One thing on this. Pretty much the same thing. There's a real nice cut. One thing difference on these two, you're going to get on this big one, it's just more leverage. It's got a longer bar here, so you're going to get more leverage. It's going to be it's going to take a little less effort to cut through whatever you're cutting through. This is just a good unit, it's just a smaller unit, and it's not going to give you quite the leverage of the larger unit. This one here is going to be something similar to as the G12 Pro, but it's not quite as easy as the G12 Pro. I think it has something to do with just the design of it. The G12 Pro is a little bit easier to cut through paper than the Stack S12. Well, let me go to show you how to change blades on these. If yours comes with this cover, you need to remove it. And basically, I'll borrow one of the screwdrivers out of this drawer here. Basically, you got screws here. They're going to be all lined up. You just start taking those screws out. You remove those screws. Probably save the middle one for last. And let me show you on this here, on this Stack S12, that's the locking lever. So you'd have to remove it to get down. And when you come down on this, there'll be one more screw down low, so you'd have to get it out. And once you get all the screws out, it looks like there's 7 of them. Save the center one for last. And then you would just basically take your tool here that comes with it, and you would cut the blade, and you'd take out that last one, raise it up all the way, and the blade will just come right out very easily. Put a new blade in here, put it back up in there, and then just tighten the screws down. It only takes 2 or 3 minutes to change one of these blades on the Stack S12. Okay? And that's basically Stack S12 there. On the G12 Pro and the G17, I'll show you it on the G17 over here since it's a little larger unit, a little bit easier to see it. So basically, these tools come with it here. You want to raise this up, take this cover off. And actually on this side here, if you can come over here just a little bit, I'll show you. There's the back side of the blade. On the back side of the blade, there's 2 screw holes right there. That's for this tool that comes with it. Basically, you'd put that right there. You can take out like a couple of these screws here with your screwdriver, remove a couple of them, and then use those screws to attach this tool to the blade. And then once you do that, you finish taking out all the screws. And again, just like the other one on this one, you have to lower this down to get that final screw right there in the corner. And once you do that, you leave that center screw for last. Once you get all the screws out except for the center one, you'd have this attached to the blade. Then you would remove the center screw, and this blade would come right out very easily. You'd take the blade off this tool, put another new blade on the tool, and put it in place, and just start backwards. Put the center screw in first, then put all the other screws in. It's a very simple process. Again, it takes 2 or 3 minutes to change a blade on one of these. That's one of the good things about these paper cutters. Very easy to change blades. Okay. And that's about it. This is the perfect G17 Pro paper cutter. This is the perfect G12 Pro paper cutter, which is the same as a G17 Pro, except it's just a smaller version of it. And this is our Stack S12 paper cutter. It's similar to the other two, except it has a crank handle for the clamp. And it's just a little bit different design in the cutting, so it's still easy to do, but it's just not quite as easy as the G12 Pro. The G17 Pro would be the easiest to cut through everything just because of the size of it, the leverage you would get with it. Again, this video is property of NBKP International, LLC.